Welcome, everyone, to a very historic moment of Oklahoma sports team. This is show number 100, dating back to August of 2017. And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln, along with the Hall of Famer, TPS Athletic Director, Gil Crowd. Coach, happy 100.
You know, I don't feel 100.
You don't look it at all, Coach.
But I think it's been a lot of fun, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun today as well.
Looking forward to here's our show lineup for our 100th show. We'll be having a special Oklahoma sports scene look back, some of the highlights, some of the special guests we've had over the last 100 shows. We'll also have FC Tulsa Soccer's team president, James Cannon, talk about all new look FC Tulsa Soccer Club getting ready to start play. Crissy Strimple, the new head softball coach at the University of Tulsa, off to a tremendous start. She'll join us in the studio here. And then Erick Heine, and a very special Team Hoyt on handicap running chairs, an incredible story of this family. Really, just amazing, Coach.
It's amazing what has transpired over the last few years with this effort of those that really can't run, participate in this, and yet the Hoyt group in developing a chair that the caregiver and the patient can perform in any type of marathon, whatever.
Make you feel good, this story. That's all coming up here on Oklahoma Sports Scene on our 100th show. We celebrate that. We also thought we had planned Emmett Hahn, right, to be here to talk about the Daytona 500 and about all the Chili Bowl connections there.
Started raining in Florida, and when it rains, you don't run those cars that they run.
All they lack is treads and wipers.
Exactly, exactly. So they're trying to do that Monday as we're taping.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, so we'll have Emmett on next week.
We'll give him a week to get those last laps in.
A lot of Chili Bowl drivers in the Daytona, though.
No
That's
doubt
really
about
great
it.
for Tulsa.
And he's really proud of that, and we're getting a lot of publicity too, as Jeff Gordon talked about a lot on the Fox telecast the other day. NBA All-Star Game is a brand new format. I usually All-Star Games are something you want to miss, but that was really compelling television. Really enjoyed it.
It was different. I think that involving the fans the way they did with the T-shirts and everything. I think it was, I have a feeling about All-Star Games that they're really overblown now. I mean, because you have so many regular season games, the All-Star baseball game in the summer, until they put whoever wins has the home field advantage in the World Series, it was really, why are you playing? The Pro Bowl are all the people who didn't make the Super Bowl. How can it be the Pro Bowl? It's just one more payday, I think, for some of those folks, but they did do a good job in the NBA. And, I tell you, the NBA really kind of is a leader in marketing. Yeah. If you stop and think that they have put their season year-round because they have that trade period, they have the draft period, then they have preseason practice. They're not off much at all.
And I didn't know the All-Star Game was ever going to start. They had what a production their pregame was. Common did an incredible job. Of course, obviously, a lot of tributes. Kobe Bryant, and for the late Commissioner Stern and stuff there, but great entertainment as well. It was just a fabulous show put on. And when it was all said and done, Team LeBron got a free throw from the brow, right? Anthony Davis put it in for 157 to 156-55 win, or Team Giannis there, and Kawhi Leonard with 30 points was the very first winner of the newly named Kobe Bryant MVP. All-Star MVP, which is very fitting, really is.
Well, as great a player as he was for as long as he was. Yeah. To have your name on something like that is fantastic.
And how about our guy Chris Paul? He lit up. He had a two-handed dunk too. I thought the guys are going to just drop out of the bench there.
And we don't want to digress to get over to the Thunder much, but I want to tell you, they have done so much better than anybody thought.
And why?
They're a team. They're a team, and they're listening to Coach Donovan.
NBA All-Star, quite a success, the format though, and they'll pick up the regular season here this weekend. And Thunder right now in the thick of the playoff hunt, so go Thunder. And once again, for the 7th time, Eddie Sutton has been named a finalist for the National Basketball Hall of Fame. And, Coach, this has got to be the year.
Well, it's criminal on their part.
And cruel now.
It's cruel to an individual, who made such a difference in so many different people's lives and different settings across the nation in some of the premier jobs in basketball across the country. And did a job every place he was. And for some of those who are in now, and that have digressed somewhat with the personal character and so on. I don't see the justification whatsoever not to include him this time.
Look at the numbers: 806 career wins, 3 Final Fours, 2, of course, with Oklahoma State. Coach Sutton needs 18 of 24 votes from an unidentified panel, Coach, which is really difficult. And the finalists this year for the National Hall of Fame are really a who's who: Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Rudy Tomjanovich, Kim Mulkey, the great Baylor basketball coach, Tamika Catchings, one of the great WNBA players. So stiff competition, but Coach Sutton now at 83 years old. And I think people saw this past Saturday, Oklahoma State, a nice celebration honoring their 25th anniversary of their NCAA Final Four team of Coach Sutton's from 1995. And great to see the Big Country Reeves and some of the guys there. And
well,
and
Randy
Coach
Rutherford,
Sutton
our coach at McLean,
right.
was there and a prominent figure on that. And I know he always speaks so highly of his time with Coach Sutton. He says he owes a great deal to Coach Sutton about where he is today as an individual. And I think there's a lot of them out there that can point back to Eddie Sutton.
Big 12 Conference announced their Players of the Week, and I'm proud to say they had a Sooner and a Cowboy. For the Oklahoma Sooners, Christian Doolittle picked up his 3rd Big 12 Men's Basketball Player of the Week award. And for the first time, though, as they recognized the first-time Newcomer of the Week award, Tulsa Memorial's own Caleb Boone for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, we had a Charger get in there,
That's
Memorial
great.
Charger. And he has been progressing steadily through the season, and Coach Boynton has increased his minutes.
Yep.
And evidently he was quite a factor this last weekend.
What a great win they had over number 24 Texas Tech at Stillwater. Boone scored a game-high 16 points and drew a game-high 8 fouls, most by an OSU player this year. Converted 12 of 14 free throws. We went to the line there, so made it good there. And Cowboys now, since February 2018, inside the last 25 seconds, Boone blocked a key shot, converted the free throw to preserve the win. So congratulations again to our former Tulsa Memorial star, Caleb Boone. And playing well, and good to see Coach Boynton get a big win there.
Really glad for him and for the Cowboys. They're in a position where they went through that bad spot there where they couldn't win a game in the Big 12.
After starting undefeated.
So maybe they're coming back here at the end.
Let's hope so, and get ready. We're going to celebrate our 100th show here by taking a look back, some of the highlights, some of the earlier shows, some of the favorite guests we've had, and I think you'll enjoy this. You kind of look back down memory lane, starting way back for us in August of 2017. Oklahoma Sports Scene celebrates 100 shows. That's straight ahead.
Cheers. All right, y'all, how's everything tasting?
That is awesome.
I come bearing gifts of the liquid variety.
Bricktown Brewery. Come and get it.
Sammy, a customer wants to know the best Honda for gas mileage.
It's easy, Jen, the Honda Civic.
Got it. Retired couple loves road trips.
The CRV, of course.
Great. Family of 6. 2 in soccer, husband loves the outdoors.
Show them the Odyssey.
Okay.
Hey, Jen, do I need to get Winston?
Find your perfect model today at Don Carlton Honda.
So what do you know about the Honda Sensing Package?
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
Welcome back to this historic day the 100th show of Oklahoma Sports Scene. We're going to discuss the history. And I tell you, it goes back a long way, even more than the 3 years that we've been on.
That's right. And also, with Bill Land and J.V. Heine back at the old Cox Cable Studios there, and I've guessed several times, so we didn't
was
go
on
that
there,
show.
you
and,
bet.
And really was set up more of a conversational. They had the couches and some chairs and stuff, and what a lot of, I'd call it, great production value. They just had a bunch of guys just talking sports. Fun show.
They had a lot of pastries, too.
That's right.
Ann's
Bakery. Now, Ann's Bakery didn't survive, did they? So
no, they didn't, and we're still here.
still here.
There we go.
Our very first show in this new concept of Oklahoma Sports Scene, August the 24th, 2017. And in these 100 shows, Coach, we've had some fun and some interesting guests.
Been fantastic. We started that first show with JV and Bill.
That's right.
Who had been on for like 16 years before that and had taken a 3 or 4 year hiatus.
Right.
So we thought it was apropos for them to come and join us on that first one. And of course, JV stayed with us for almost 2 years, and he decided he was going to retire from the active thing. But we've had Bill on since a couple of times, and it's something that is unique because there's not another one in the state of Oklahoma that does what we do.
These aren't sound bites of 15 seconds, the 10 o'clock sports scene. This is, of course, full 8, 10-minute, 12-minute interviews with folks. Let them talk about their stories. I'll tell you all about them. This is our Oklahoma Sports Scene highlight show. Take a look. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Oklahoma Sports Scene, presented by Bricktown Brewery. I'm Chris Lincoln, along with the coaches here, Hall of Famer Gil Cloud, athletic director at Tulsa Public Schools, and the Hall of Fame legendary basketball coach, J.B. Heine. Coach, quite a show today. In fact, we were looking forward to this one for a long time. This is your opportunity to really get up close and personal with these Oklahoma sports personalities. It's much more than a soundbite. Let these guys not only answer questions, but they'll tell their own stories. Some of their great memories of some of their big events, some of their favorite players, some of their favorite games. You can only get it on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Welcome back to Jimmy's Zags Oklahoma Sports Scene. And can I hear a boomer? Boomer! Here he is. Billy Sims to join us.
Great start. You know, Laban Harris was the first golf coach at Oklahoma State at the right time. You know, when Boone Pickens opens up the checkbook.
Where that I wore hearing aids.
Really?
And I had had a bad experience with hearing aids.
Utah Valley. I think in the near future that our commitment to wrestling.
I mean, unbelievable. Just and the pitchers: Fergie Jenkins, Bob Gibson.
One
well, we knew he was good when we got him, and he got even better in a hurry.
That's right.
And now with the Rangers,
well, we had some great guests. You know, I think obviously probably the two most favorite were Barry Switzer and Pat Jones. Real iconic characters in the state of Oklahoma and very entertaining while they were here.
Eventually, you talk about the Heisman trophies.
Right.
I want the Selman statue on the campus.
Absolutely.
Because
all
not
three.
just the great players, but the family, who they represent,
Class.
what they are, all graduated, all consensus All-Americans, just wonderful people. And that when they played at Oklahoma, they did something that's never happened before, or since, and never will. Three brothers play at the same time, start side by side, and accomplish what they did. You know, their record when Selman played at Oklahoma was 54-3-1, and the three teams that we lost to, we were better than, and we helped them win. You know,
is one that honors your opponent with a great performance. This wasn't the media's fault. The media didn't create this. Mayfield is 22 years old. If I'm not mistaken, you can go to Afghanistan at 18 and die.
Well, you know, as a former coach, I'm extremely optimistic. I don't think we're going to lose a game. We're going to win them all. And I think in time that people will start to become more attached to Oklahoma sports scene. I think they'll become more attached to Chris Lincoln, Gil Cloud, and myself, and the many guests that we bring aboard.
And we don't believe there's a better value in sports television than being on Cox with Oklahoma Sports Scene. It's statewide coverage. It's replayed over and over again with some of the top sports personalities in the state of Oklahoma and beyond. So I think it's a great value for anybody who wants to be part of the Oklahoma sports scene.
Well, that's what we've done over the last few 3 years now. And,
good to see JV on the show.
You know, JV. I see JV once a week.
Yeah.
We have breakfast or lunch, and he serves on our Hall of Fame committee, which met last week, and we selected the 2021 crew. That won't be released now for another 9 months because it takes me that long to find some of them. But no, JV, I see him every week, and he's doing good, and I think his health is as good as it's been really in the last 10 years. Yeah.
Is he still lucky?
He's still being lucky, you bet. And some people will know what that means.
That's right, exactly. JV's a big part of this show, a big part of this history, so I want to recognize the coach certainly as well. And looking at the future, also certainly have to recognize and thank our sponsors, those who have been with us, those who are still with us, and those who will join us.
Well, I tell you, Remington Park, you know, from day one, Rogers State University, from day one has been with us. You know, and
the folks at Bricktown, of course.
Bricktown,
the reason we got started.
Literally, a name sponsor, and they stayed with us all the way through this almost 3 years now. And, you know, we really appreciate that because the economy ebbs and flows some.
Sure.
And to be able to stay in this format, we feel really good about the future of this and trying to bring you things that you won't get anywhere else.
So join us next Monday. We'll tape at Oklahoma Sports Scene Show 101. We'll tape at the Bricktown Brewery Restaurant at South Peoria, 3301 South Peoria here in Tulsa. Come on out and join us. Hopefully, maybe Vicki or Becky will make us a cake or something to celebrate. Or
I doubt it.
Well, come on, we'll treat you anyway. Have a good time with us here. When we come back, we're going to talk soccer with our FC Tulsa president, James Cannon. Looking forward to the season of the brand new soccer club here in Tulsa.
The service is amazing.
Food's delicious.
I love the avocado fries.
I love the energy.
Local beer, great food, truly friendly service.
Look all right for you?
Bricktown Brewery, come and get it.
Each week we talk about the GTR, and we know for a fact that Forrest Cameron and his wife Sharon put out a tremendous paper. Well, I brought all 6 of them today. I'd like for you to see them. The Union Bound Erick, and here is the Owasso Rambler. And if you live in Bixby, how about the Bixby Breeze or Broken Arrow, the Broken Arrow Express, Jinx, District Gazette, and then of course the Tulsa Midtown. All of those, the GTR. If you haven't had an opportunity to read one, do it, and you'll be proud of it.
Hey Mo, I was just wondering, why do you love Acura so much?
Well, Jen, I'm glad you asked. Let me show you. You see, Jen, all Acuras have sporty exteriors, plush interiors, cutting-edge technology, and incredible fuel economy. Seriously, Jen, look at these lines.
Okay, you've convinced me. Which one should I get?
Jen, I'm glad you asked. Follow me. So, if you're looking for something with fuel economy, let me show you something.
It's soccer time in Tulsa. It is FC Tulsa. Their president, James Cannon, is joining us here on Oklahoma Sports Scene. James got off to a big start this weekend with a nice open house. A lot of fans came down to One Oak Field. A fun, amateur match there.
Very amateur, yes.
A lot going on with
I don't think they'll be upset with me for saying that.
Well, the 2 fan clubs came together and had a good time, right?
They did. It was a fun opportunity for engagement. You know, they come out and they support us 17 games out of the season at home, travel to some of the away games, and so we thought it would be neat with the changes that we've made to the orientation of the pitch to let them come out and check it out first. So we thought, what better way to let them check it out than we flip-flop the roles. We put them on the pitch, let them put the game on for the players who are in the stands and some of the other supporters cheering them on.
And it was the first Supporters Cup.
It was.
The results, 83 United and the Tulsa Lunatics, right?
That's right.
What was the score?
It was 4-3, 83 United
good
prevailed.
match.
It was a good match. Yeah, very high scoring, high action.
And the players got a real kick out of it.
They did. They really thought it was fun to see some of the most ardent, passionate fans out there trying it on. And I think they all agreed at the end of the day that the players should stick to their day jobs and the fans to theirs.
Yes.
Well, how did they like the orientation of the field?
It's great. We had a lot of people also as part of the open house come out to meet their seats so that they could see how the seats that were putting on sale for season tickets, single game tickets, how that would work. And it was just a good opportunity for people to kind of take it all in, see the ballpark, the new orientation. People were really happy with it.
Super.
Yeah.
Let's talk about ticket sales. We want to get that information to the folks here. We have a website, obviously, and a phone number where people can call. Get your season tickets. The opening season starts here in Tulsa, the home match. First one, March the 14th, 7 p.m. against New Mexico United at One Oak Field. A big schedule of home matches. Talk about how you can get tickets.
Yeah, we do. FCTulsa.com is a great way to get tickets. I think that'll give you all the information in terms of a lot of different sections. We've got the refinery deck, which packaged together food with the ticket option. Single game tickets are going to be coming on sale here in the coming weeks. We're going to be looking at mini plans. So we want to make sure that we've got the product right for everybody, and our website walks everybody through that pretty well.
And the phone number, too, is 918-297-6808. For more ticket information, order your tickets now. Well, we've also had some preseason matches here. We're going to see some videos, some of the early action here. Let's talk about some of that. I know you got one coming up at our friends at Rogers State University in Claremore coming up on the 22nd.
Yep, this Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, preseason's been really good. It's good for Coach to bring in. I mean, he's got a diverse set of players, right? We've got 3 Nigerians. We've got a handful of Europeans. We've got some Latin Americans, 3 Brazilians, a couple from kind of scattered around Latin America. So to get all the guys into market, make sure they're all fit and ready to go, work through some knocks and things, and then just let them begin to adapt and gel together. So it's been really good. We've had some good results. We played St. Louis this last weekend and we kind of did it hockey style, 3 40-minute periods. And saw a good goal across from Marlon over to Dario for the goal and for the good guys, and we've got these games that are coming up. So we're hoping to get around, up in Claremore, get some soccer fans out to see us up there, and get them excited to come check us out once the season starts.
That match again is 2 p.m. on Saturday at Rogers State University. Then February 25th, we'll be down at North Texas State University in Frisco. And back here, the final preseason match is on the 29th of February, 1 p.m. Titan Sports Complex is where they'll host it. And that's against Sporting Kansas City.
You know, you talk about the diversity of your roster. Does the club have to do anything special with those players to make sure they bond with Tulsa and with each other?
Absolutely. Overcoming the language barrier in some cases is the first step. So, fortunately, a lot of the players that we've got, a number of us around the club are able to either, we're bilingual in Spanish, English, and Portuguese. So getting that, overcoming that hurdle. Then the owners have planned some fun activities to get acquainted and get to know each other, where we'll go look for authentic cuisine from different players, home or original homeland, so they can kind of talk and share about that and just have a bonding experience. So we work a lot, and Mike Ensian is the coach. He does a really great job understanding sort of the different personalities that culturally come from these different areas and how they gel together. So a lot of thought and effort is put into helping bring these guys together as a team prior to the season starts.
That's quite because when you put somebody in the middle of the country,
it is.
And it's really away from home for all of them, just about.
All of them. Yeah, even
One
the Americans, right?
Yeah, right. One part of Coach Ensian too, right? He's a Booker T guy.
Booker T. Washington, you betcha.
Right. Yeah, one of our local guys here. Well, again, talk about the way the Crab has taken this franchise, taken it to a whole new level here.
They have. We're looking to elevate everything across the board, from the game day experience to the product on the field. The team looks really good. St. Louis was one of the better teams in the Western Conference. They always put together a good showing. With them leading into MLS, their president was here on hand and said that they've never spent more on their payroll. So to see us be able to play them to a fairly even match this early in preseason, I felt like was a very good sign for us. The game day editions, we've been working with special effects groups that are going to help us, add a little bit of spark and pizzazz to the game event, so that it's for those that are looking for more than just a soccer game. We realize that for a lot of people that's sufficient, but for those that are looking for a great event, something to take the spouse, the friends, the grandkids, kids out and just have a good time. We want everybody to come away very pleased with the money they spend and invest back.
One thing you showed off at the open house too, people got a real kick out of, is the new kits. In soccer mean the uniforms.
Yep.
Talk about the uniforms.
It is. We're really excited. One of the things that we wanted to do with the rebrand was to give a new optimistic look for the team that was representative of the optimistic future for Tulsa that we're all seeing for Tulsa. And so with the black state kit and the white city kit, each one features the state or city logo. Governor just launched the logo for the state of Oklahoma, so we were able to work with their office and get that put out there. So we're really excited that we can represent both the city and the great state of Oklahoma and do that as we travel. So we'll feature both kits at home and on the road. We'll just alternate and give everybody a bit of a show.
Well, what kind of team are we going to have?
I think it looks strong. I think we continue to be optimistic that we can clinch a playoff spot. Top 4 teams in the conference will host playoffs, so we're hopeful that we can get one of those. We continue to be bullish on that and the talent that we've put together.
It all starts real on March the 7th, a big road trip for FC Tulsa all the way up to Sacramento, California. Then we'll come back here and we kick it off at home on March the 14th, 7 p.m., One Oak Field against Mexico United. Another thing I appreciate too, James, that you and the Kraft guys and stuff that still have embraced the old tradition and history of our Roughneck guys as well.
That's true. We're working on having Victor Moreland narrate a spot that we'll be putting out talking about the team. We've Charlie Mitchell and he have been instrumental in working with us in the community and making sure people understand that we're building a club for Tulsa, and it's completely inclusive. We're not doing any exclusive partnerships in terms of who we're working with, and we want to have great charitable opportunities and how we plug in and reward others that are doing great programming with a great soccer experience.
We've got some of you here, James, for taking the time out of your very busy schedule.
Let's go to Bricktown.
That's right.
That's right. Well, thank you very much.
And you got a meeting with Coach Cloud this
tomorrow
week,
at 2 o'clock.
All right.
That's fantastic.
Again, getting more involved with Tulsa all the time. FC Tulsa, James Cannon, their president. We'll come back and talk about it. Brand new softball coach, University of Tulsa. She's off to a great start. That's next.
Hey, Jen, could you come here, please?
Hey, Sammy, what's up?
Could you tell Winston the 2019 pilots on CRVs are priced to sell this month?
Okay. Winston, Sammy says pilots and CRVs are priced to sell this month. He seems pretty excited.
Yeah, he is.
Hurry in today and find huge savings on all remaining 2019 pilots and CRVs.
Hey, Winston, get excited.
I bring Tulsa's voice to Oklahoma City and Washington. I build relationships with elected officials and community stakeholders to develop policies that grow the Tulsa region. I loved my time at Rogers State University. The personal relationships I developed with professors really helped develop a skill set that would help me serve the Tulsa region that I care about. It all started for me at Rogers State University.
Jackson driving all the way in, left hand layup, good. Joyner throws left side, Rochelle driving all the way down, and a one-hand slam dunk.
Back on Oklahoma Sports Scene, and we're glad to welcome in for the first time Crissy Strimple. She's the new head softball coach at the University of Tulsa, and this young lady, Gil, off a pretty good start. 8-1, huh?
Yeah.
Crissy, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a long time you've been involved in the University of Tulsa. Give us some of your background here. I know you started at Moore High School and then went to NEO-A&M, right?
Yes, I from Oklahoma City originally, or Moore.
Right.
Played softball at NEO, like you said, and then ended up playing my last 2 seasons at Tulsa under Coach Pinkerton. And then he's kind of the one that took me under his wing and took me with him to Arkansas, got me into the coaching side of it, spent some time in Arkansas and UCA, and then had the opportunity to come back to Tulsa, my alma mater. Just jumped at it when I had the opportunity, and been here ever since.
He was 2002, 2003, he played here at the University of Tulsa, third base. Team's Offensive Player of the Year. And then got quite a relationship going with Coach John Barkfeld. What a great job he did, and was kind of your mentor here, right?
Yes, I just so thankful to be under John. I mean, he just does a great job with the game and how he views the game, just teaching me, you know, the different ways of, like, being a player is one thing, you know, and then getting onto the coaching side's you know, a whole nother aspect. But I just feel so fortunate to have been underneath a coach of his caliber.
Well, you know, you start out 8-1 with only 4 starters. You know, my goodness, as the season goes along, a lot of people think that you know, you schedule easy and you get confidence, but it looks like you schedule pretty tough.
We have a tough schedule, and you feel okay doing that when you have 3 pitchers coming back with experience. And so, as you talked about, you know, having some of your starters back, when you get girls in the circle that have a lot of college experience and have done well at this level, you know, you feel like you can go in there and compete with anybody. And I think that's where we are as a pitching staff in our team.
Started 4-0, winning, sweeping the Mercer Invitational, winning that tournament. And talk about your pitcher in that one. Shanice, who did a great job on a 2-0 win for you.
Shanice is just she's a phenomenal pitcher. She's a tough pitcher. She's relentless.
What year is she?
She's a sophomore from Choctaw, Oklahoma. Okay. Played her final years at Carl Albert High School, but just a great competitor. Wants the ball, wants to, you know, get after it, and not really. It doesn't matter who's on the, you know, the opposing side of us. She just enjoys getting out there and competing.
2.31 ERA. I love this. She had 11 strikeouts. Oh, by the way, she also hit 571, 8 for 14, and 3 home runs.
Yeah.
And was made the American Athletic Conference honor roll that game.
She's a two-headed monster. I always knew that she would have an outstanding year offensively. Everybody knows kind of what she does for us, you know, on the mound. But my gosh, she's just a great hitter and barrels a lot of balls up and just came out strong that first weekend, and we needed that.
Well, she came out of a good program at Carl Albert.
Yes.
They've been very successful for a long time. You know, my son coached at Tahlequah for 4 years.
Okay.
And would play them every year in the state tournament, and lost in the finals one year when they were ahead 9-4, and they end up getting beat because they were relentless. So she had a good background coming in. Where did some of the other players come from?
We have another pitcher on our staff who's actually from Las Vegas, Sam Pokop, and she's a junior for us, and she's done well. But Cassidy Scott's another pitcher that's on our staff. She's a senior who transferred in to us from Texas Tech. But another Oklahoma kid that wanted to come back home. And we have quite a few girls on our team from the state of Oklahoma. You know, we got a third baseman, Alexis Perry, from down in Oklahoma City, who transferred back wanted to get closer to home, transferred back to Tulsa. We have 2 transfers that came in from big schools. You know, we got a kid from Mizzou getting a lot of playing time for us, a Texas kid who's kind of moved around the lineup for us, but got her leading off this past weekend. We have another transfer in from Toledo who's originally from California, and her family just recently moved to Texas, you know, playing for us. And then can't forget about, you know, a staple in our outfield, Michaela Witten, an Oklahoma girl from down in Shawnee, who's just been great, runs a lot of balls down in the outfield, and she's a senior for us.
Crissy Strimple, she's the new head softball coach at the University of Tulsa. Crissy, just coming back as we tape this show, our 100th show on Monday. You just got in about midnight last night from Starkville, Mississippi, playing the Mississippi State tournament. Talk about that tournament. You went 4-1.
We went 4-1, and I was just excited to get down there to see how, you know, we would compete against an SEC team, and we did. I mean, we played 3 talented teams when we were down there, starting off with Northern Alabama, who really had a great pitcher. She was a tough kid to figure out for our hitters, but won that game. Came back to play Mississippi State, who's been swinging it really well. They went 5-0 their first weekend, and you know, anytime that you have a chance to knock off an SEC team, a team that was also receiving votes, you're happy to do so. You know, and the girls came out and got us some runs early, and then our pitching staff, once again, you know, kept them at bay, a very tough team. And then Tennessee State is a team who just has a senior-laden pitcher who, you know, really just attacks hitters. And she gave us a little bit of trouble, but it was nice to see the girls bounce back, you know, on that final day on Sunday and come back out with a win and get back in the win column. Go 4-1. Anytime that you can have a chance to go undefeated, but we went 4-1, and I always said walking into that weekend, if we left there 4-1, I was going to be happy.
Though you're going this weekend to Baylor.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's going to be tough.
Baylor's got some. That's going to be a great tournament for us. You've got a Minnesota, a team that was in the World Series last year, who's got a senior pitcher who's been phenomenal so far this season. Baylor's got some kids back, and they've been, traditionally a great team that's made it to the World Series, and they've got some kids back that were injured last year, and they've been playing well as also. And then Illinois, a tough team. We battled with them last year and took the loss to them last year in a close game, 6-4, I believe. So we'll get them again. And then Texas State will be the final team that will play there, and they've been going well. So it's a team where probably everybody in that tournament will see postseason.
As you well know, besides being a brilliant coach, you have to be a brilliant recruiter too. What about the talent here in the state of Oklahoma? Girls softball seems to have just exploded.
Tulsa, or I'm not even just Tulsa, Oklahoma in general has outstanding softball. I mean, you've got teams from out of our region coming in and trying to recruit kids, from the Oklahoma area, and even this region. So being able to be in a state that has talent that you can pluck from makes it nice when you're a coach. And then especially kids that just want to come to Tulsa. They love the academics that Tulsa has, and then they know that we're going to compete nationally at a high level. It's just nice to have those hometown kids, stay close to home. And then even in the region, where we are close to the Kansas City area, close to the Dallas area. Every once in a while you can get a few kids from the Houston area that want to come up. But we're really in a good spot, hotbed for softball.
I think it's a great program. You are a hot because of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, and then some of the Division IIs play at a high level as well. So I think that makes it good for our kids that get recruited and want to stay locally.
Absolutely.
And with 9 NCAA tournament appearances in 12 seasons at TU, these people want to come play for a top team. We have something for you, Crissy, for taking the time to join us here
when you're in town.
Yeah.
Go to Bricktown on us.
Be our guest there.
Well, I appreciate that, guys.
And finally, we'll get to see our TU women's team at home. They'll be playing the end of February 28th, 29th, and March 1st. You're sharing a tournament with Oklahoma State, right?
Yes, sir. We are. First game got Oregon.
2:30 coming up on the 28th.
Yeah, great team in there. Drake, who's had some outstanding seasons.
That's the game follows that at 5 o'clock.
We do, and then UIC out of Chicago, and then we'll finish up with Louisville.
Congratulations, a great start.
Yeah.
8-1, the TU softball team. Crissy Strimple, their new head coach. We're going to be right back and a really special feature with Team Hoyt. You want to know all about this group. Right back.
Sammy, a customer wants to know the best Honda for gas mileage.
It's easy, Jen, the Honda Civic.
Got it. Retired couple loves road trips.
The CRV, of course.
Great. Family of 6. 2 in soccer. Husband loves the outdoors.
Show them the Odyssey.
Okay.
Hey, Jen, do I need to get Winston?
Find your perfect model today at Don Carlton Honda.
So what do you know about the Honda Sensing Package?
Cheers.
All right, y'all, how's everything tasting?
That is awesome.
I come bearing gifts of the liquid variety.
Bricktown Brewery. Come and get it.
Very special guest on Oklahoma Sports Scene. I was at the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, and I got to meet the Heine family. Has been working with Team Hoyt for several years. Those that don't know the story, it is an incredible one involving Rick Hoyt, who at birth was diagnosed with a quadriplegic and with cerebral palsy. His dad, Dick, his mom, Judy, had advised to, institutionalize him. He had no chance to really have any kind of quality life. In the spring of 1977, his dad, Rick, Rick told his father, he said, I want to participate in a 5-mile run. Well, his dad put him in a chair and pushed him for 5 miles. made a great comment, Dad, when I'm running, feels like I'm not handicapped. Incredible story, and the guy who's going to tell us more about is Erick Heine. Erick, welcome to Oklahoma Sports Scene.
Thank you.
Great story, and again, what an inspiration the Hoyt family has been. Tell us more about them.
Well, so Dick loves to tell the story about the first time that they went for a run, and so it was for a classmate of Rick's in high school who had been in a car accident and had himself become handicapped. And so they were going to run a 5-mile race to raise money to help his costs, for his medical costs. And so Dick loves to say, we got in the chair and I pushed him, and everyone thought we were just going to go to the corner and turn around and come back. And we didn't. We actually ran the whole race, and we didn't finish last. We finished second to last. But we didn't finish last. And so, as you said, then Rick told his father, when I'm running, I don't feel like I'm handicapped. And that was the beginning of their saga together. And so they are sort of the inspiration for all of us. They have blazed all the trails. They have competed in 15 or 20 Boston marathons. They've done the Ironman World Championship twice. In fact, they were just inducted into the Ironman World Hall of Fame last month in Arizona.
Amazing.
That is amazing, and they continue. Obviously, now it's they're older and
yes.
You can't do that, but the effort is still there.
Yes, yes. And Dick's effort now is to help spread the message across the country with various Team Hoyt chapters all across the United States.
And the Hoyt running chairs, tell us about those, how that got developed, and how a handicapped person can take advantage of something like this.
So the Hoyt running chairs actually came about because Mike DiDonato, who owns Sturbridge Steel, had encountered Dick at a celebrity meeting and had said to him, if you ever need anything, you let me know and I'll see what I can do for you. And about a week later, Dick approached Mike and said, well, we need a new chair for Rick. His old chair isn't working as well, it's starting to break down. What can you come up with for a design? And so the design that Mike came up with was basically the model that they now make on a regular basis. And it's a chair that's designed to support up to 250 pounds, and itself only weighs about 45 pounds. Mm-hmm. So the chair is light, it's aerodynamic, it's designed to work with the runner rather than like a jogger style stroller. Right. So you actually put your arms into the armrest and you sort of lean forward when you're pushing.
How many of those do you know how many have been manufactured across the...
Oh, let's see. When we got ours a couple of winters ago, it was number 240.
I see.
So I'm guessing probably close to about 300.
300, yeah.
The Hoyt Foundation, a nonprofit organization founded in 1989 to build individual character, as they say, self-confidence and self-esteem of the American disabled young people. And what a great thing they've done to so many young people across the country here. And what an inspiration. Again, you mentioned, I find it just incredible, though, the end of their achievements. Dick and Rick biked and ran across the United States, across America, 3,735 miles in 45 days. Talk about that adventure.
Oh, they were basically just doing 50 miles a day, and they're out there on the roads with a van, you know, sort of supporting them with whatever they need, and they would rest and sleep and get up the next day and do it again. And I don't know how many people watching have ever done a marathon, let alone a 50-mile race, but the day after you generally don't feel that great. And so they're doing 50 miles every day for 45 days. And again, if you've run a marathon, you know what you feel like, but you haven't probably pushed 200 pounds a marathon.
Yeah.
And so they're doing, 2 of those every day, day in, day out for 45 straight days. Amazing. It's just amazing.
But where can people find this chair, to purchase this chair?
You can actually go to HoytRunningChairs.com. The chair itself runs a little over $4,500. And it takes approximately 2 to 3 weeks for them to manufacture. They only build them as they get orders. Yes.
Also, it's fascinating by the fact that you mentioned marathons. They've been running over 1,000 races, but then this is a triathlon.
Yep.
Now, explain the triathlon, how Dick was able to carry Rick. And I mean, we're talking about, of course, swimming. We're talking about biking. Give us that, and running, of course.
Yes. So Rick would ride in sort of an inflatable kayak pontoon sort of thing, and there would be a rope around Dick's waist, and he would just swim the 2.2 miles, just tugging that boat. And then when they got out, they would get in a bike, and they had a specialized bike where Rick would sit in the front and Dick would just pedal. And Dick had about a 3-inch sight line over Rick's head and helmet, and they just would go and go and go. And then when they got to the marathon part, they would get Rick out of the chair from the bike and put him into one of the Hoyt running chairs, and off they went.
So he spreads the word all over the country.
Yes.
Does he get out of the United States?
Yes, they have been to Japan before. They've been to Europe before. But mostly it's just continental travel at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think they also developed a kind of a speakers program as well to help people spread the word.
Yes. So there are a number of groups across the country where he does come and visit, and he gives talks, and they're inspirational. When I saw him, he was at the Boston Marathon, and he was giving the talk that day, and that's really what allowed us to meet him and help us form our own chapter, Team Hoyt, Oklahoma.
And the Team Hoyt, the foundation, also provides advice and support to groups and individuals who share this mission, this incredible mission there. I know the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame was very supportive of you too.
Yes, and that was a wonderful chance of fate. I had gone for a run that morning, and it had gone very poorly for me. And I bailed out after about 4 miles, and I was really frustrated and took a shower and hopped in the car, and lo and behold, on my radio is a gentleman talking about a luncheon that they're having, and they're raising money, and they're looking for a nonprofit to support the following year. And he tells me when the luncheon is and what date and the time and the place, and they never say who it is until the interview ends and they say, oh, it's Mike James. And so I just kept repeating Mike James, Mike James, Mike James until I got to work, looked him up, and went, oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah. President of our Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. They just
Yes.
announced their 7 inductees coming up later. I'll talk about that. But yeah, they've been very supportive of that, and a great turnout. I think you just mesmerized the crowd. That luncheon was fantastic.
It was a great experience, and it was a great way for us to share our own story, particularly my son's story, because like Rick, my son communicates through a device that allows him to speak. My son is also nonverbal. He is 13.
Okay, and he's racing now with you, huh?
Yes.
That's
yes, we've been
fantastic.
racing together for about 4 years. We have not done any triathlons yet. The farthest that we've raced is half marathon distance.
Amazing.
How many members do you have in Team Hoyt in Oklahoma?
We have about 7 or 8 right now that we rotate through because not everyone is available for every race.
Mm-hmm.
So we have about 7 or 8 participants right now, and we're really hoping to get those numbers up this spring.
Erick Heine with Team Hoyt. You can go online, give them that address again, where they can contact you.
www.teamhoytok.com.
We have something for you coming down here. Not even having to run here.
Come out to Bricktown sometime on us.
Fantastic.
And we got
Thank you so
Oklahoma City
much.
as well and stuff, so please enjoy that. And,
Thank you so much.
Give our best to Rick and the Dick and the family there, and incredible work they've done.
Absolutely, will do. Thank you.
We're going to come back and talk to Bob Toos about his first win as a pro football coach.
Cheers. All right, y'all, how's everything tasting?
That is awesome.
I come bearing gifts of the liquid variety.
Bricktown Brewery. Come and get it.
Jackson driving all the way in. Left hand layup. Good. Joyner throws left side. Rochelle driving all the way down. And a one-hand slam dunk.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Sports Scene. The Dallas Renegades, Chris,
Yeah.
they finally got on the board, but it took them 7 quarters to get there.
Not exactly the wide open offense of Bob Stoops or Hal Mummy. What happened?
I can't imagine with Hal Mummy, the godfather of the spread and speed offense. I think that maybe the quarterback can't understand what he's saying when he's mumbling in his work like this and walking down the side. You know, I wonder because they just don't have any rhythm yet in that offense. They're just not there.
And yeah, you expected more with finally Landry Jones making his first start in the XFL, but then as Bob pointed out, we'll hear from Bob in a moment here too, that he hadn't played in a long time.
A long time. What, over 700 days?
Only had 3 practices
for
that game and stuff, and he was horrible in the first half. By his own admission, they kept interviewing on the sideline. Landry, what's going on here? I'm playing terrible. I'm lousy. He just laid it right out there. But they finally came back. The Dallas Renegades got their first win in week 2 of the XFL, winning at Los Angeles 25-18. They're now 1-1 on the season. And as I mentioned, it took them a while to get going, but when Landry Jones finally got going, he was 11 of 17 in the second half passing, ended up with 305 yards passing for the game, had 1 touchdown, 2 passes intercepted. And after the game, Coach Stoops talked about his former Sooner quarterback.
And then Landry, you know, in the second half was more consistent. And I said to him, look, he's getting frustrated in the first half. He just missed a touchdown by a couple inches and the turnover. And I said, look, man, you know, just hang in there. It'll come. You haven't played in a while. First time out there, literally the guy hadn't played in a couple years. He's missed 5 weeks of practice. He's only had 3 days of practice, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday ahead of this game. So point being, I said, you just got to hang in there. It'll, you know, it'll all keep coming back, and it started to. And there the guy still passed for 300 yards, and, you know, in his first time out in a couple years.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but it was a win, and that's all that counted, as Bob said.
1-1.
Yeah.
You know, it's an uphill battle when you are picked to win the league before you ever
yeah.
start.
And they covered, too, the spread, which is so interesting. Fox is right out front, so it's ABC now. This is XFL. Point spreads, they talk about it. 6.5 favorite. Over-under was this month. They covered the point spread. Did not cover the under was the best bet on that one game. And as most of these are early in the season, it looks like.
Well, I think, you know, once Landry Jones gets back into the swing of things with the offense, they've got some talent.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got some people that can move the football. I think it's going to be a matter of who they play, the continuity in the game, and they'll get that rhythm of the spread offense. And I think once they get that, and Landry Jones has run that. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not something new. So.
Well, it'll be week 3 of the XFL, and the Dallas Renegades have another big road trip. They go to Seattle. They'll play on Sunday, the 22nd. Kickoff at 4 p.m. on Fox. Then the next home game at Globe Life Stadium there in Arlington, the former home of the Rangers, will be on Sunday, the 1st of March. They'll host Houston. That'll be a 3 p.m. kickoff. That is on FS1. So, again, the Dallas Renegades, Bob Stoops getting his first pro victory. By the way, for Coach Stoops, he's gone 1,140 days since his last win at OU and his 3-year retirement. Right back with our parting shots. Stay with us.
The service is amazing.
Food's delicious.
I love the avocado fries.
I love the energy.
Local beer, great food, truly friendly service.
Look all right for you?
Bricktown Brewery, come and get it.
Hey, Mo. I was just wondering, why do you love Acura so much?
Well, Jen, I'm glad you asked. Let me show you. You see, Jen, all Acuras have sporty exteriors, plush interiors, cutting-edge technology, and incredible fuel economy. Seriously, Jen, look at these lines.
Okay, you've convinced me. Which one should I get?
Jen, I'm glad you asked. Follow me. So, if you're looking for something with fuel economy, let me show you something.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
We wrap up our 100th Oklahoma Sports Scene show with our parting shots. Coach Bill Cloud starts us off.
We have a problem in equity in boys and girls basketball in the state of Oklahoma. The rating system is done by the coaches. What might have been a good idea 10 years ago appears to have turned into a good old boy, good old girl contest. Whoever calls whoever last and says, hey, I'll rate you if you'll rate me, that determines playoff spots. Absolutely inadequate, absolutely ridiculous. I think we need to get back. There are two forms that we could use. Obviously, we could play district. And if you play district like you do in football, every game would count. Our good friend Michael Knight reminded me today that we have 2 weeks of games now that absolutely mean nothing because the pairings are already established. There's no more seeding. It's all over. The other way would be to go through the formula that we used when I was on the Division II Men's Basketball Committee for the NCAA, where every week through a formula, software, you would evaluate teams that won, teams that lost. If you played a team with a winning record, you got more points if you played a team with a losing record. If you played on the road, if you played up a class or down a class, it all went into the computer and came out. The NCAA has done that in Division II, Division III for the last 20 years. It seems to work. We've got to get away from this coaches voting system that gets the good old boy, good old girl attitude.
Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame just announced its inductees for the class of 2020. 7 are going to be going in to the August 3rd induction ceremonies at the River Wind Casino in Norman, Oklahoma. And here is the list. Tommy Chesebro, of course, the legendary wrestling coach at Oklahoma State University. 15 years, his Cowboys won 90% of their dual meets. He coached 20 NCAA champions. Sherry Cole, of course, the legendary women's basketball coach at OU since 1996. She just won her 500th career victory. She's in the the Women's College Basketball Hall of Fame already. She has 6 Big 12 championships, 19 straight NCAA tournament appearances, and 2 Final Fours. Eddie Griffin, our good friend, now the athletic director at UCO at Central Oklahoma there in Edmond. He was a member of 2 Oklahoma State National Championship wrestling teams. He was a wrestling coach himself at both Central Oklahoma and then at Clemson University. Stacey King, an outstanding OU basketball All-American, the Big 8 Player of the Year in 1989, played 11 seasons in the NBA, including back-to-back 3-time Chicago Bulls NBA champions. Year and a half, Hub Reed, 6'9" basketball center, played for the legendary Abe Lemon at Oklahoma City University from 1955 to 58. They went on to 8 seasons in the NBA. And James David Buddy Ryan, what a coach, 35 years of coaching, including, of course, 2-time Super Bowl champion, 4-time Letterman, by the way, a 4-year Letterman on the offensive line at then Oklahoma A&M. And finally, Lee Allen Smith, a great contributor, a true Oklahoma Hall of Famer, has done so much for the state of Oklahoma. Again, 7 really good inductees coming to the induction ceremony August the 3rd. Coach, you know some of those names, of course, there?
I know most of them, yep. Absolutely.
Good people.
You bet.
Look ahead now, Oklahoma City Thunder. That game's on Friday the 21st. 7 p.m. against Denver. We have Sunday, the 23rd, they'll be taking on San Antonio. Thursday, the 27th, Sacramento. The Oilers hockey team, next home game is on Sunday, the 23rd, 4:05 against Allen at the BOK.
And they've just moved up to 500.
That's right. Got themselves even on the season here.
You bet.
Our next Oklahoma Sports Scene is coming up February the 26th. And we'll have Emmett Hahn finally wrap up a delayed Daytona 500 for us. And our first Remington Report of the season coming out as well.
That'll be great. Looking forward to that, and make sure that you're with us next time.
Joe, 101. Coach, congratulations on 100 shows together.
100 shows, you bet.
Thank you for joining us.